right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an exciting edition of How Do I Do This Anyways? Bridge edition. Basically, you're supposed to be designing a bridge. You're supposed to have some cross members in there. Probably, if you're thinking about it, there should be some diagonals going across here. You should probably have some sort of a road support there. I don't have those for simplicity and efficiency of getting this done. What you want to do with that is you want to run your um, stress test on it. And where'd that go? There it is. If yours looks like this, it's going to break quickly. Don't do that. Okay? So, um, in order to show you how to do this, I'm going to show you how to make constraints and to create an assembly out of just the side pieces. So that's the side piece that is the main span of the bridge, and that is the cross piece. Now you see how I have these little overhangs here? These little overhangs are intended to sit on top of the truss, and then those little notches, these bird's mouths that are right here, is supposed to go vertically along the side there. So it's going to make kind of this little thing going on here. Here, let me turn my visual styles on, shaded with edges, in order to better see the edges and all that happy stuff. So, you don't have to have yours look like this. There are easier ways to do it. I'm just using this as a quick model again. So, what we're going to do, you first start out, you're going to make an assembly. So, I'm going to click New, and I want an assembly. And it pops up with this blank screen. And you want to place your components. Now, the nice thing about an assembly is that different people can draft different parts. So like I gave you the mounting block already in the assignment. You can just download and drop that in there. One person can create the cross truss. One person can create the main side. I'm going to go ahead and start out with the side truss first and open that. Zoom out. And I want to take, and first, I'm going to right click in my first one. I want to place grounded at the origin. Okay. And I'm just going to think for a minute. Then I want to put my other piece, I'm just going to drop it right over here. Okay. It doesn't really matter where it goes. What you'll see is that one of these has a little pin in there, and that piece is not going to move. The other piece is not grounded. So you can click, drag, move that anywhere you want. You only want one of these to be grounded. Next, we're going to go ahead and place these cross truss members that I've created. I'm going to go ahead and just select it. You can see the preview of it, and I'm going to open that one. And if you don't like the way that it's facing, like right now I've got this oriented in the right orientation simply because I was paying attention to my view cube when I drafted these parts and I put them on the correct axes. If you didn't do that, that's fine. Right click and click rotate Y, Z, or X in order to place it ish in the direction you want. That's going to make your life easier. I'm just going to drop one of these in for every one vertical that's there. It's the easiest way to attach those cross pieces is to a vertical. Now, looking at this thing, it does help for you to come over here, click this down arrow, and make sure Visual Styles is on. And then click this and say shaded with edges. So that way you can actually see the edges of your blocks or pieces. So I'm going to start out by making constraints. I want to do a mate constraint first off between this edge that's right there and the piece that's going to be in contact which is this edge right there. Okay, now you hear that little sound that it made? That means that it was able to successfully make the constraint. If it doesn't make that sound, it wasn't able to. Okay, now I'm going to click apply to actually set that constraint. If I hit cancel, you're then able to still move the thing, but I can't just click and drag that thing. At least I shouldn't be able to. Did not make the constraint. That made the constraint. Oh, it's deceptive because this edge right here is always in line with this one. It might not just be in contact with it. So now we're going to do another constraint, another mate constraint between the underside of this thing and the top of that truss. Okay, I'm going to click apply. Now I want to do a flush constraint between the front of that cross truss and the front of that. Now I click apply. Now if I click cancel, I can try and move that. I'm clicking and trying to drag on it, and I can't move it like I can these other ones because it is now fully constrained to this grounded object. So I just need to go ahead and do that to all of the little pieces. So I start out again with that mate constraint, and that's going to be on the inside surface. Apply. Going to do another mate constraint between that bottom surface and this top surface. Helps to zoom in so that way you can see exactly what you're doing. And then I want to apply it, and I want to do a flush constraint here. Click it, apply. Now that I've got that, I'm going to try and shake it, and it won't move. Great, good. Do it again. All right. You need to do this for all your parts. If you need to fast forward through this, go right ahead. If you don't need to fast forward through this, then don't. Just kind of follow along. Again, I'm going to do that, and I clicked apply. Now I want a mate constraint between that bottom edge again and that top edge. Apply. Now I want to do my flush constraint between that front and that front. Apply. Cancel. Try, shake it, doesn't move. You should always test your pieces after you've constrained them to make sure that they are in fact fully constrained. If you don't, then you can be building errors into your project. Apply that. That surface gets really repetitive really quickly. Now, this is not the only way to do this, but this is the way that you would assemble multiple parts together, and that's the way you can break up the work of drafting this thing. One person could be drafting these side main trusses, one person can draft these pieces, one person can draft the deck, and that would work. Now we got to bring this bridge piece on over. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a flush constraint, and I'm going to put it on the bottoms because the bottoms need to remain flush relative to one another. Apply. Now I'm going to go ahead and just say another flush constraint between that vertical side and that vertical side. Click apply. Now I want to go ahead and finish this off with that mate constraint between there and there. Apply. All right, groovy. That's a gorgeous bridge right there. Now, I also need to go ahead and place my mounting block, but the mounting block needs to be in the center, but we'll get to that in a second. Mounting block. Make sure all the parts that you want are in the same folder. Okay, the mounting block is pointing in the wrong direction. If I wanted to put it right there, I guess that would work, but I want to put it across the other direction. So I'm going to just rotate this along the Y, and that put it in the orientation that I actually wanted. Now, first off, I'm going to go ahead and just do that standard mate constraint between that surface and the top. Apply. Now, I need to have this thing lined up in the center. And in order to find that center, I need a couple of work planes. So I'm going to make a mid plane between two planes, and I'm going to just pick two identical planes, the outside of the truss, in order to put that mid plane right smack dab between them. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Again, mid plane between two planes, between that feature and that one, because that puts that mid plane that's right there right smack in the middle. Next, I need to make sure my center has something I can align with. So I got to put an axis in the hole. See that little line that pops up there in the center? So if I click that, now I have this short little line right there, that one. Okay, so that's the axis. It's an imaginary line that can actually line up with these points. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and now constrain the axes, that axis to that. Apply. Next, I want to go ahead and I want to constrain that axis to that. Apply. All right. Now, ooh, it rotates. That's not what I want. So now what we need to do is we need to constrain. We could do an angle constraint. That would work. I'm just going to do a flush constraint between that surface and the axis, because I know that there should be an offset of 1 inch because it's a 2-inch wide thing. Click apply. It didn't like it. Cancel. Mounting block. I'm going to delete that one. Now I can pull that off to the side. Now I can go ahead and create my constraint. Between that and that. And I want that to be an offset of 1 inch. Maybe negative an inch. There we go. Apply. Now I want there to be an offset or a constraint between that axis and that work plane. And that locks the mounting block up in the center. Okay, so now that thing's constrained. All the parts are fully constrained. I can't rip the thing apart if I try. Go ahead and turn the visibility off on all these because we don't need it. Make sure we save our work. File save as. I'm calling it Warren No Assembly 2. Save. I know it's got verticals. I don't care. Let's see here. Now, environment, stress analysis. You want to go ahead and you want to make sure you define all your parts. You want to go ahead and as long as you are using a consistent material, it should be okay. ABS plastic is fun. As long as everything is ABS, it's all good. Okay. Force. You want the force located acting downwards on the thing. There we go. I'm just going to call it 20 pounds for right now. And then your fixed constraints need to be at the corners of the bridge. That wasn't right. It needs to be along that line right there. The whole line needs to light up green. You might have to play around with getting it to actually zoom in and do what you want. There. Apply. Now I can click cancel. I'm going to make my automatic contact sets. I'm then going to create my mesh view. I'm then going to simulate it. And boom, looking bad. Okay, so that's how we do it. If you have any questions, let me know. You can use this to help guide you. Also, let's go ahead and do this right now. Once you have your assembly done, I'm going to go ahead and take the mounting block and turn the visibility off on it. And I'm going to save it again. And I'm going to go yes to all. File, new, drawing, create. Now, you want to be using an ANSI large because we're going to print it out as an ANSI large. You want to put your base view. You can either use your base view from the truss, or you can use the base view of the demo of the assembly. Okay. Either way, we want to go for a 1-to-1 ratio on this. Okay. Now, click and drag. We might have to delete our border. Okay. Now, you will also want to go ahead and place a projected view, which would be an end view. Okay. Now, projected of that, click like that, and now say create. Now you have to take it and drag it up to where there's some paper. Oh yeah, it's going to want to stay horizontal. There's a way to get it so it's not locked as horizontal. I don't remember what it is right now. I'll figure it out by tomorrow. Either way, hopefully this video helped you with most of what you need, and be sure you ask me questions if you have them. Take care.